Oh, hi there. My name's Jorge. I grew up in the 80s and I used to love getting into trouble. I have always been a friend of felines. I take my faith very seriously, attending college at a Christian school, and I've been a music fan my entire life, only recently finding out that I really like extreme metal, and I want to invite you to journey with me on my discovery of extreme metal. What is up, folks? Welcome back to A Christian Collects Death Metal. It's your pal Jorge here, back at it again. Thank you so much for stopping by. You saw the thumbnail. You know what we're talking about. This is just my initial thoughts on the new release from Fr Dionysios Tabakis, Paradise Metal. From here on, we're going to call him Father D. When I was first hit with this image, right, this priest with the electric guitar, this ornate frame with roses, I just assumed that it was a release from the 70s and it had sort of resurfaced or someone had unearthed it, and I didn't think much beyond that, and I kept on scrolling. And wouldn't you know, as the days went on, I just kept seeing this image to where I finally said, you know what, obviously this must be a newer thing, and indeed, after looking into it, yes, it is a new release. I don't even know how to start this, really. It's such a peculiar case because to see it get the traction that it has gotten in the underground community, even in the extreme metal community, it's a sight to behold. It's really something that's been embraced by a high percentage of people, in my opinion, and for good cause. First, I'm getting ahead of myself, as I often do. The gentleman, the artist himself, Father D, 53-year-old priest, Orthodox faith, family man, married with 3 children. I guess in his spare time, he, not only a musician, he's also a writer, but he records alone at his house. And what this release represents, you know, his sort of, it's almost like 30 some odd minutes of just devotion, like a devotional prayers, and you know, there's like obviously metal type bits in it with the guitar. I think it's a 7-string fretless electric guitar. Correct me if I'm wrong. There are drone bits in here. You know, he adds all kind of cool stuff, like birds chirping. There's some electronic, like almost dubstep things going on. There's like these prolonged psalmic prayers from either him or this lady that he brings on. It's a very interesting release. It's one that you wouldn't really think that would be as accepted as it is. And I think it's just so unique, and you know, I have nothing but admiration for the guy. I've already bought my copy on vinyl, by the way. The pre-order is still up. I believe they're just pressing it on an orange variant. I think it's supposed to ship toward the end of July. The cassettes, what I was originally going to get, just flew off the shelves. I mean, 150, limited edition, just flew off the shelves. So by the time I got around to it, I went ahead and picked up the vinyl. I'm actually glad that I did, because the more I listen to it, the more I've grown to love it. And I also realized that the vinyl has one exclusive track that's unique to the vinyl release. So that's cool to see. There's no doubt in my mind that this will see a reissue or a repress at some point, I would assume soon, because the response online is so great, right? It's so great, and just, I could see why. Let me play a short clip now. exercise in religious rites or something like that, even though there are deep, obvious religious undertones to it, which obviously I would be a fan of. But it doesn't just, you don't have to be a person of faith to enjoy or get something out of this man's music, as is obviously the case by just the, glowing response online. But anyway, it's very enjoyable. Side A is where you get a lot of the guitar, right? And it's just sort of singular. Is a joint release effort by Fr D's own label, I suspect, El Halal. I'm not really sure, but he's the only artist, and this is the only release, as far as I can tell, from this label. So it's, a joint, a co-op between El Halal and also Heat Crimes from Athens, Greece. So Heat Crimes, the very unique label. They put out a lot of noise type stuff, electronic, just very unique artist, and a very unique label. I'll leave links to everything in the description. Check out their social media. Just a really cool label. So, my overall thoughts, I talked a little bit about side A. Side B is a little more, the whole thing comes off as experimental, but before you write it off as just, experimental, huh? Wow. No, on subsequent listens, it feels very methodic, very intentional and purposeful. The man obviously knows what he's doing. He has the Byzantine influence, being from that area. And, you could tell that he's put a lot of thought and effort into this release. And it feels like one big, long, devotional, sprawling sort of, offering to God is what it seems like, right? But there are the doomy bits. It feels like, from what I read online, and you could check out the Bandcamp write-up, and other people had stuff to say too, but just themes of isolation and depression, right, is sort of juxtaposed with triumph and victory. It's very inspiring, to say the least. And you know what? It feels like a breath of fresh air, because it doesn't seem like very often such a unique thing comes along. Maybe I'm just blinded to this. Let me know some other artists that I should take a look at that, sort of fit in this, hate to say avant-garde, but this sort of strange space, right? I'm a fan, I'm a fan. The initial listen, I thought it was something from a different area of the world, and I liked what I heard, and I've always been a fan of that vocalization. But, just everything that he adds along with it. Side B, he kind of does some other things, right? He has like this dubstep type sections, and I've even seen in the description online there are Christmas carol type parts. I didn't quite pick up on that, though. It's just a strange listen, and it's just oddly uplifting. But you get it feels metal, right? The name of the release is, after all, Paradise Metal. The gentleman, Fr D, has his own YouTube channel as well. Obviously, I'll leave links to that. And he's on there with the guitar. He just posted a short called Original Death Metal. You'll have to check that out. I'm a fan. Hey, that's going to do it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you heard this? Have you seen it around? Have you given it a chance to give it a listen? Let me know in the comments below. As always, Jorge, a Christian who collects death metal, signing off. Be blessed.